say he's good.
He's good.
Yes, he is. Look at somebody else and say, I can't tell you my testimony right now because it's not the time. But I serve a good God. Now look at your neighbor. Look at 3 people and shake that neighbor hand like you're going to shake it off and say, neighbor, I don't have time to give you my full testimony. But the only thing you need to know right now is that the God I serve, the God I serve, pull up the neighbor hand and say, I can't tell you, but the only thing you need to know that the God I serve, he is good. Look at somebody else that look like you and say, neighbor, I'm not trying to make you shout. I'm not even trying to make you dance. And you don't got to get excited for what God has done for me. But the only thing you need to know right now that I survived, and I survived, and I survived, and I survived. If it had not been for God on my side, I don't know where I will be, but I survived the illness, I survived the affliction, I survived the glory, I survived the scandal, I survived. Do I got any survivors in here? See, that's the type of God that I serve. That's able to rescue you in the midst of your trial, in the midst of your tribulation. That's the God that I serve. I survived it. 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 That's a whole message by itself. I survived it. Look at your neighbor one more time and say, neighbor, I can't take my testimony. I don't got time for that. We don't got time for that. But the mere fact that I'm here, it justifies that I survived it. I may not look victorious. I may not be in my mansion right now. I may not be in my, but I survived it. And look at somebody else that looks like you and say, because you live it, you got another opportunity. I feel like having church today. Go to 3 people and say, you're a survivor, 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 you're a survivor. I don't care what nobody else said, you're a survivor, you're a survivor. I don't care what the doctor report looks like, you survived it, you survived it. I don't care how you feeling right now, you survived it, you survived it. I don't care what the bill collector said, you survived it. You won't lose your house, you won't lose your car. You're not going to lose your eye, you're not losing your body. Your body will be made whole. Singing a living and free. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, 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 yeah. Run in the Mahusa Kakaya, run. That's the type of God that I serve. That will confuse the enemy and make me look like I'm going to lose. It will make me look like I'm defeated. It'll make me look like I'm broke. But grab your neighbor hand and say, I'm nothing but an illusion. What I've been going through is nothing but an illusion. What I've been living, what I've been dealing with is nothing. It's nothing, nothing, nothing. It's nothing but an illusion. Running of a crucified. Nothing but an illusion. You don't look like what you've been through. You don't smell like what you've been through. The drama you've been dealing with, it didn't hold you down and make you strong. that affliction should have took you out. But because they think the Lord gave you double for your trouble. And what it looks like that should have kept you there, that should have put you under. The Lord says, now you one more chance. Look at your neighbor and say, I got one more. Bless the name of the Lord right there with the fruit of your lips. Come on, say something to him. In your Bibles, there's a word from the Lord. You sound like that you came to get something from God today. Yes, God. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Yes, God. Thank you, God. Yes. Yes, Lord. Amen. And the Bible declares, in your Bible, we go to the book of Numbers, chapter 13. Numbers chapter 13. And this is a word that God has given to me on this afternoon. Numbers chapter 13. Hallelujah. Oh, yes, God. We're going to read at verse 1. And when you have it, shout amen.
Amen.
Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Send thou men that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their fathers shall ye send a man, everyone a ruler among them. And Moses, by the commandment of the Lord, sent them from the wilderness of Paran. All of those men were heads of the children of Israel. Verse 17 declares, And Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said unto them, Get you up to this way southward, and go on into the mountain, and see the land, what it is, and the people that dwelleth therein, whether they be strong or weak, few or many, and what the land is that they dwell in, whether it be good or bad, and whether the cities they had be they dwell in, whether the tents are strong, and what the land is, whether it be fat or lean, whether there be wood therein or not. And be ye good and courage, and bring of the fruit of the land. Now the time was a time of the ripe grapes. Now verse 25 declares, And they returned from searching the land after 40 days. Somebody say 40 days. 40 days. And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron, and to all the congregation of the children of Israel, unto the wilderness of Paran and Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they were told him and said, We came unto the land that thou send us, and surely it flow with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. Nevertheless, the people there are strong and dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. The Anakites dwell in the land of the south. The Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the land and the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and by the coast of the Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before the Moses and said, Let us go at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. But the men that went up with him said, We be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. Look at somebody and say, It looked like it. It looked like it. And they brought up evil report of the land, which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, The land through which we have gone to search, it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof. All of the people that we saw in it, men of great stature. And there were they were saw singing as giants, the son of Anakai, which come of giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we're in their sight. I want you to take a neighbor hand and shake it like you're going to shake it off, and say, Neighbor, the sound of separation. Look at somebody else that look like you and say, Neighbor, there is a sound of separation. And what are you talking about, Greg Michael? I'm talking about the Lord is sifting the enemy and those that can't go with you out of your life. I feel like preaching right now. Look at somebody else that look like you and say, Neighbor, I know you have been praying, and I know you've been seeking the Lord, and I know you've been saying, God, I'm not strong enough to let them go. When the Lord sent us 5'11", 195 pounds black man down to Talladega to let you know I'm getting ready to separate the snare from the task, and no weapon shall be able to defeat you in this season. I feel like preaching today. Look at somebody else that look like you. Say, there's a sound, there's a sound, there's a sound. I hear it in the air. I hear it in my left ear. I hear it in my right ear. That the Lord's getting ready to separate some people out of my life. Well, Bishop, I don't understand God will call us to be together in congregation, and it goes against what God has done. Why are we preaching separation? Well, the Bible says that the anointed one is separated. Oh, y'all don't feel like preaching with me. So what the Lord is doing right now in this avenue, in this area, He's anointing you right in the midst of your enemies. And He's going to pick you up and take you out and separate, because He's going to take you somewhere, a place that you've never been. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard what the Lord got in store for you. Shake your own stuff off and say, I got to get them off me. I got to get them off. I feel like preaching in the place. There are challenges and moments within our lives that we depend on the individuals to uphold us, to support us, to encourage us, to strengthen us, to advise us, to motivate, to dictate, to reason, to pray, to fight, to defend, to comfort, to follow, and even to understand us. Within its perspective time, it is temporarily good. It places us in the avenue to make us feel comfortable, to make us feel great. But I want to talk to some people that's aggravated with people trying to be nosy in our life. They offer up opinions that was never requested. They offer up solutions that they don't even have for their own life. Y'all don't want to talk to your boy. They offer up questions and statements. How can you tell me how to maintain good credit and you still y'all don't want to talk to me? How can you tell me how to fix my marriage and you've never been married? How can you tell me how to keep a boyfriend and a good girlfriend and you never seen with nobody? How are you able to tell me how to maintain my car and you still riding motor? How are you able to tell me to get an education and you don't even know how to read Genesis 1:1? How are you able? But your neighbor, that's a sound, that's a sound, that's a sound, that's a sound. How are you able to tell me how my family is going to be and yours yet? Because there is a sound of separation. In childhood development, adolescents need the assistance of the parental in order to maneuver through life. Without the support of parentals, the child will lack the foundations of learning the human attributes and possibility to become mute and unstable and being difficult to comprehend. That for many of us have become so codependent on others until it's difficult to move through life even as an adult because we depend so much on our parents. I want to talk to the babies that's still, I want to talk to the adults that's still babies. I got to talk to you today because the Lord is trying to manifest who you are to Him. But because of your codependence, you have allowed your dream and your vision to die. Look at somebody and say, neighbor, it's time to put on your big boy clothes and your big girl clothes. You got to take them tidy whities off. You got to put on some things that can fit your full body. Because God's trying to elevate and to educate and to restore you. But because you depend on man so much, God can't be your... How can God be your God when your parents is already your God? How can God be your God and you got friends and family dictated? You can't even develop a prayer life because y'all not talking back to me. Because you depend on man so much. This is why there's an inconsistency in your relationship. Oh, I feel like preaching now. Because you got everybody else in God's place. Look at somebody and say, move, get out the way, get out the way. I say, get out the way. I say, move, get out the way. Because I need God to step. I came to preach today. Touch your neighbor's hand and say, neighbor, I feel that God is separating me from some people.
Yes, he is.
So it's difficult for us to develop and to grow up because we depend on everybody else. I come to understand that a vision cannot manifest with too many leaders. A dream cannot come to pass when too many dreamers are in the same dream trying to dream the same thing. But you're not helping your boy. There's too many people in your life that's trying to dictate where God is taking you. But I'm confused here. How can you dictate my life when the Bible says eyes have not? Oh, y'all not talking back to me. When the Bible says ears have not, neither have it appeared in the heart of man what God got in store for me. So watch this, the prophet takes me where I'm going. Oh, God, I want to preach with your heart. This is why you go to church and there's no prophetic word, because the God got you in hiding. Grab your neighbor's hand and say, I'm a secret weapon. You don't know what I am yet. I'm a secret thing. Everybody can't handle your secrecy. Everybody can't handle who you really are. This is why you got to be careful who you connected to. This is why you got to be connected who you talk to on the phone. This is why you got to be going out careful your boy. You got to be careful how you socialize and how you opinion and how you lead, because God got you a secret. Look at somebody and say, neighbor, for the next 3 days my mouth is closed. I can't tell what God is doing in my life. Your head back and say, God, do it. Sit down and let me preach. I just came to talk to you. What's up, man? How you doing, son? Love you, man. My son is sitting in the back. Considerably, one must, in order to be able to advance into the area that God is taking them, one must reflect on their own self to discover why you're still in the same place after years past. It's not that God, because we are so confused, Elder White, when we say that we're waiting on God. I know many of us say this all the time, and many of us, we have stated this before in our life. Many of us have even preached a message and said we're waiting on God, and there's even a song that says I don't mind waiting. But I'm confused here when the Bible is said, when the Bible declares and said, and it was written past tense. In other words, my vision and God is not waiting on me, because in the book of Genesis he had already created it, and Jeremiah 5 said, and I knew you before you was in your mother's womb. And so that's when he gave me my purpose. My purpose did not come when I became 37. My purpose came before I was even here on earth. So in other words, the vision and God is not waiting on me. He's waiting for the separation so that I can become who he wants me to be. I feel like preaching down here. Look at somebody and say, neighbor, we got to get that right. We got to get it right. He's not waiting on us. He's waiting on the separation. I asked God the question the other way. I have to talk to God. I say, God, why do we still find ourselves in the same situation? I'm about to help somebody here. And the Lord told me 2 reasons. He told me here, he said the first thing is procrastination. Oh, y'all not helping me here. It's amazing to me. Procrastination is not feeling the importance to become better or successful. It's a feeling of important, not feeling in the importance of the vision or the dream to come to pass, because you're living in complacency and in comfortability. And so this is when many of us begin to actually move things around in our life because we become uncomfortable. But what do you do when you're comfortable and there's a dream that's on your life, or there's vision that's inside of you that y'all not giving me here. There's something on the inside of you, but because you wait until the last minute to do things, you create a spiritual prophetic cycle that's in your life to the point that God said, if you're not serious, then we won't be serious. So y'all not getting me here. So watch this. So you can't be waiting on God and you procrastinating. Oh, you can't be waiting on God. And God has given you a vision, but you won't even write it. When the Bible says, write the vision, make it plain. And watch this. The only thing you need to do is write it, because they that read it will run. Oh, y'all not reading the Bible with me here. You're missing the main assignment, which is to write the vision. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, when was the last time you wrote anything? When was the last time that you said, God, not only I'm going to write, but I'm about to implement? For the Bible says, you watch now. The Bible says that faith comes by hearing and hearing the word of the Lord. And you can't have faith and have no words. In other words, you got to work the faith in order for your vision to be God not coming your heart. You got to work at it. Well, the Lord told me, he said that he's going to give me a new car.
Come on, Bishop.
Have you checked your own credit?
Come on, Bishop.
You should not get to the dealer and be surprised. Oh, y'all not helping me here. When the Lord told me that I have a prophetic anointing, when was the last time you prayed?
All right now.
Because you can not have a prophetic anointing and don't have a prayer life. How can you say what thus said the Lord and you have not thus said your knees? Your knees are still, oh, y'all not helping me. I need to talk to some burnt knees that can say, I've been praying all night long. I've been on my faith. The reason why I'm sleeping, I haven't been to work. I've been laboring. And I have not been laboring on the job, but I've been telling God, y'all not hearing me preach. Watch now, plan. The second thing was relinquishing purpose, or getting rid of purpose for affectionate needs. Oh, y'all not hearing me. Not having your own voice in a matter.
Come on, Bishop.
Affectionate needs means that I need someone to make me feel good.
Jesus. Come on, Bishop.
I don't feel like I can do it by myself.
All right, Bishop. Come on now.
So I'm always needing somebody else to be around.
Yeah.
I'm talking to those that can't live by yourself.
Come on, Bishop. Jesus. Come on, Bishop.
I get afraid at night, so I can't be by myself. How is it that you say that God is with you and you're afraid of the dark? I don't get that. I don't see that. I don't understand. But you got the Holy Ghost and you got Jesus on you, but you're afraid of the dark. When everything that happened first, it started at night. And at midnight, Paul inside is praying. But y'all not talking about to you. And when God stepped on the earth and it was dark, and he said, let there be light. How can you be afraid of the movement of the
And watch this now. And watch this. This is why you're not the salt of the earth. Because you're not the salt of the earth if you're afraid of the dark. When he said, let your light. Oh, y'all not talking back to me. How can you be afraid when you are the light? I'm afraid of the dark, so I need somebody to be in the room with me. You grown and big, and you real grown. I mean, when you start walking, you smell. I don't get it. How is this?
Yeah, always, bitch. Jesus.
Well, just come with me to the apartment. Come look at the house with me. Just come look at the house with me, and I believe that God's going to bless me with it, but just come look at the house. And then all of a sudden, the reason why you didn't get the house, because you bring too many people to the...
What?
Well, Elder White, come meet him. I want you to come meet him. Because he seems like a nice person. Come meet him. Come talk to him. In order to date me, you got to meet Elder White. How? When the Bible say a man that findeth a wife, he found it a good thing it out. He didn't say go to the elder. We're slipping out our blessing because well, mom, you know, I'm not doing too good in school, but I believe if you pray for me, no. Pray for me. If you apply yourself, study to show thyself approved rightly. Study. That's no need of prayer. Give me your books and study. My help is alright. Oh Lord Jesus. I'm getting nervous in my own church. So the sound of separation, you must understand in this that was a sound that was made. There's sound of demonic forces. And this sound, many of you have heard it in your prayer time with God. Many of you have heard it while you're praying. And it's a tornado sound. It's screaming, demonic haunting sound. It's psychotic laughing from females and males. It's little kids singing demonic little fairy tale. You're not talking. It's dying souls crying. These are prophetic demonic sounds. But watch this. There is a sound of worship. There's a sound of praise. But there is a sound of separation. Let me tell you what it sounds like. The sound of separation sounds like whenever you begin to tell what God is getting ready to do in your life, somebody always comes up with a negative thing to say after you have said it. Watch this. You got to check your role. Check your role and say, wait a minute, neighbor, wait a minute, neighbor, wait a minute, neighbor. Look at your neighbor and say, wait a minute, neighbor, wait a minute, neighbor. Whenever I start shouting, how you look at me. Because there's a sound that's been created. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, when I begin to testify, are you squinching your eyes at me and looking at me all weird? Because I need to know this, because I need to X you out of my life. Because there's a sound of separation. There's a sound of separation. And in this sound, you will develop individuals that will always come up and say the negative or the contradiction of what God has said in your life. But the Lord is getting ready to take me across the water. How can God take you across the water and you don't even have a passport? Baby, you don't know what I got in my wallet. Just because I don't tell you, don't mean you don't got no money to pay. He just told me to prepare myself. He just told me that I had to pay for it. Watch this. Whenever you begin to move, it's God's responsibility. Oh God, you got to be careful how people. And I started watching stuff. You got to be careful of when you. So Pi is my friend. And we've been friends now on Facebook for 7 years. And all of a sudden, I put a post on Facebook and I'm celebrating Pi. And I'm telling you, I love my Pi. I just love my Pi. I love my Pi. Pi's so good. And then all of a sudden, you have somebody that want to be like you.
Come on, bitch.
And all of a sudden, they come up from out the other side of the ocean. And they say, they start looking for stuff. Oh, I thank God for
I thank God for Brittany. They always socialize and they use the same words and the same. I thank God for. I came to preach today. I thank God for her and what she do for me. And why you gotta mimic me? If you want to take time to thank somebody, don't thank them a minute after you read my post. Thank them before my post even created. Watch this, don't be like me, be better than me. And watch this, you can't handle being me because you have died in the struggle. That's only me. Watch this now. You gotta be careful when individuals trying to be like you, trying to be better than you. You need to walk up to that demon and say, baby, you want to be me, take the struggle. You want to be me, take the illness. You want to be me, take the affliction. Because you're not ready to go through the... You see the glory, but you don't know the story. You don't know what's going on behind my praise. You don't know the tears that I labor. You don't know what God brought me out of. And watch this. You don't know what God took me through to be who I am. You won't leave me. And you'll be bringing me right back. Shrug your neighbor and say, neighbor, that sounds like the sound of separation. But watch now. I got to teach you here. This is where we fail. We fail when we begin to hear these things. Watch now. And then what we do, versus writing them down on the list. And so, okay, this is Keisha. Yep, Keisha been doing like this ever since high school. Okay, this is Tay-Tay. All right. Tay-Tay, yeah, he my ass, but you know, we had... No, he's still gonna be on that list. Oh, this is Dorothy. Okay, Dorothy. Okay, you do this. Versus writing them down on the list. What we do is we say, wait a minute. So you don't think I can do it? You don't think God will get the glory out of me? You don't think that I'm ready? Watch now. How is it that I got to go to somebody else that just made a sound that said, I don't believe in you. I don't believe that you're able to do it. But I go to the same person because I'm emotionally connected. Oh my God. And there's a soul tie. It's difficult for me to allow them to be gone because I'm comfortable with me. Because I don't discover that I have insecurities. And watch this now. You must be able to relinquish those connections. And while you relinquish them, you pray simultaneously and say, Lord, whatever I'm releasing, give it back to me on another side. That's able to handle where I'm going. Am I talking to anybody? Point number one, and I gotta run. Point number one is losing emotional connection. The child you've developed go against an adult calling that's in you. Watch this. What that means is for the adults that's always acting like children. For the adults that's always acting like children. For the adults that's always acting like children. Paul said, when I was a child, I acted as a child. But when I became a man, I put away those childish things. What are you talking about, McCrary? I'm glad that you asked me. I'm talking about those individuals that's so codependent on everybody, you can't even answer your phone without them reaching for it. Who that is calling you? Who that is texting you this late at night and it's 7:45? You need to check your line and say, oh, not me. I'm moving this connection. You got to leave flesh behind. Emotional flesh connection. Point number 2, and I'm almost finished. Devastated enough to say go.
Come on, bitch. Say it about that week.
I'm devastated enough. What are you devastated from? I'm devastated enough because God is allowing emotional connections to end. I'm going to tell you how it's going to happen. It's going to happen over money arguments.
Come on, bitch.
I loan you this amount of money. You said you're going to give back to me. You still haven't. That's your credibility. Communication failure. Loss of spiritual connection. The draining of my spirit. lost the ability to pray. Whereas you're so depressed and so aggravated, it's difficult for you to even pray. It's difficult for you to get before the Lord and ask God for anything.
Jesus.
The power to say no. There must be a level of intensity for you to say no.
All right now.
Look at somebody and say, neighbor,
Neighbor.
no.
No. No. No. No. Just no.
You look at the neighbor again and say, You have to learn how to say that because we have so many yeses to the point that we have no no's. And now we're trying to satisfy and please everybody else. And we have forsaken our own self. I'm confused about that because of how can you say yes to man and don't say yes to God? Okay. I don't got time to deal with that, but you got to be careful of what you doing. I got to deal with something here. I begin to look at this. Let me go to it right quick. And the Lord showed me something. What God showed me. Where is it at? Where is my scripture? Somebody say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Look at this. In Exodus chapter 3. Nobody hoop here.
Who? Sir.
Exodus chapter 3. But first, let's go back to Numbers chapter 13. I got to bring out this point to you because you have to see what's going on. Look at verse 29. Look at somebody say landmarks.
Landmarks.
And identification. 29 says the Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, the Hittites, and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, by the coast of Jordan. Wait a minute. Yes. So when you look at this, you begin to see that this is what these are called landmarks. And Caleb still the people had said before Moses said, let's go up at once and get it, possession. Verse 31, but the men that went up with him said, we not able to go against the people, for they're stronger. And watch now, drop down to verse 32. And they brought up evil report of the land that they had searched to the children of Israel. Now you remember those names. Now look at Exodus chapter 3 and verse 11. Verse number 8. Will you have it say amen? Amen. God told Moses, he said, Moses, go to the children of Israel and become their deliverer. Verse 8, and I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptian, and to bring them up out of the land unto the good land, and a large, unto the land that flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites. Did we just read that?
Yes.
Of the Hittites, those are neighbors. Of the Amorites, of the Perizzites, and of the Hittites, and the Jebusites. I'm confused here. Are you ready for this? How is it you turning away dreams and visions that God had already told you you're going to have? I'm confused here because why Moses did not tell the people years ago, before we was even at this point, the Lord stopped me at a burning bush. And he told me about something that's getting ready to happen. And he told me that these inhabitants will be in my land. Look at somebody and say, neighbor, I'm about to take over.
I'm about to take over.
Look at somebody. Tell that neighbor. Say, neighbor.
Neighbor.
Oh. Ooh.
My God.
Oh, neighbor. While you were on
My God. My God. My God.
the back burner.
Yeah.
Can I preach it now?
Preach it.
Tending to the sheep.
Come on. Yes, Bishop. Come on.
While you were
God, Jesus.
praying before the Lord,
Yes, Lord.
you were seeking an answer
Yes, God.
from the Lord.
Yes, God.
You didn't have nobody around you while the Lord was talking to you.
Yes, God. Yes.
When you was in the hospital room by yourself when nobody was around. Lord, he told you that I'm gonna heal your body. Was there somebody around you when the Lord allowed your house to go in repossession? Oh, were you there when the Lord allowed you to get married and there's a divorce? Were you there when you was raising your children by yourself? The only thing that you had was a word from the Lord. Tell your neighbor and say, neighbor, the only thing I have is a word from the Lord. And the word is that you shall recover all. Grab your neighbor's hand and say, neighbor, here. You see my praise, but don't know what I've been through. You see my hallelujah and my dancing, but you don't know what I'm going through. I stop by here to let you know that the Lord is creating a sound of separation. In the separation, he must allow those that was not in your future, that wasn't in your past, to know that the Lord is getting ready to do something for you. They were not there, no, when the Lord told you that I will make you a millionaire. They were not there, no, when the Lord said that I will give you business above your measures. They were not there when the Lord anointed you in the privacy of your home. So why they here now to tell you every negative thing that's trying to happen in your life. Grab your neighbor and say, oh neighbor, the Lord is getting ready to separate. He got to come to stand from the past. He got to make sure that when he bless you, this come around, that nobody wins, that nobody wins, that nobody wins. To say it was me. So look at them and say, neighbor, right before my release, the Lord, he told me, feel my him now, he told me that I'm getting ready to reward you in the midst getting ready to do for the children of Israel. They begin to look at Caleb and say, Caleb, I know what you see, I know what you saw, but I'm not able to move forward. Look at somebody and say, neighbor, if you can't see my future, then you can't go with it. If you can't see what the Lord is taking me, you cannot go with me. Rock your neighbor, rock your neighbor, and say, oh neighbor, oh neighbor, I feel a separation because I gotta pack my bags, I gotta get ready to move, I gotta call the U-Haul, I gotta call my neighbor and say, neighbor, I'm getting ready to relocate because the Lord, He's getting ready to plant on me. Look at somebody and say, neighbor, I'm not ready now. I feel my head. I'm getting ready to go. I gotta tell you something. 40 years later,
Come on.
you're still standing.
Yes.
Caleb
Yes.
began now,
Come
yeah.
on, Bishop.
He began to look at the children of Israel.
Yes, sir.
Come, little man. No, you come in because he gonna run from you. And say here, I remember
Bishop.
when I was your age.
Yes.
Go and give it to me. I'm ready now. I remember
Yes, sir.
when I was your age,
Yes, sir.
and I began to hear the word of the Lord. And the word was, I will take you to a land that flows milk and honey. But because nobody believed me, they did not want to do it. They had to die. But I thank God that you made a way. Look at somebody and say, neighbor, they about to get out of your life indefinitely. They about to do it because even the little baby will be able to eat up the lambs. He will be able to be rich. So look at somebody and say this. I don't want my children to make it and I not see it. I don't want it to see it, but I want to live there in the land that flows like milk and honey. See it, see it, see it. 40 years later. It took them 40 days
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 40 days. Come on.
to walk, to go spy.
Yes.
Look at your neighbor, say neighbor. It only took me 40 days to look at it. But it took me 40 years to get it. I'm about to say something here. You better watch it.
Bishop. I hear you.
Mother, don't you dance like that because you
Preach,
better get
Bishop.
your mama. She better go in by herself.
That's all right now.
Watch now.
Yeah.
It took them 40 days
40
to go
days.
spy it, bro.
Yeah. Preach, Bishop.
So watch this.
Jesus.
It took me 40 days to spy it.
Yes, sir.
Many of you have spied where God is taking you in your dream.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
He allowed you to see it in your dream.
yes, yes.
Look at somebody and say, neighbor, God is about to remind me what I dreamed years ago. He's about to remind me of what He put in my spirit years ago. He's about to write. Oh, y'all not talking back to me now. He's about to recover what I dreamed years ago.
Mighty God. 40 years for him to see it.
Yes, sir.
45 years for him to see it and get it. Look at somebody and say, neighbor.
Neighbor.
No matter how long it takes,
No matter how long it takes,
it still belongs to me.
it still belongs to me. Jesus.
When he looked at it, mother, he looked at it. Watch now, I got so confused because of many people said that the promise was never for Moses. Not in Exodus. Watch now. He told Moses, he said, deliver them and tell them. And he said, you're the deliverer. Now go deliver them and you're going to take them to the land that flows milk and honey.
Yes.
But because of people, he allowed people to distract him.
That's right. Come on now. That's right.
He heard the sound, but didn't listen good enough to separate.
All right now, hear you now. Jesus.
So he missed the opportunity. If it wasn't for him to have it as a prophetic word, why did God allow him to look over into it?
That's right. That's right. That's good. You're right, sir.
Tap your neighbor hand and say, neighbor.
Neighbor.
What your neighbor's about to see,
What your neighbor about to see,
they won't get it.
they won't get it. Amen. Yeah.
Tell your neighbor, say neighbor.
Neighbor.
A lot of people have looked into my vision.
A lot of people look into my vision.
A lot of people have looked into my dreams.
A lot of people look into my dreams.
But when I look around now,
When I look around now,
I don't see the dream killer.
I don't see this dream.
Look around, look around. I don't see not one of them.
Jesus.
Why? Because the reason why you're now hearing the sound of separation is not that you never heard it. You never responded.
All right.
But now you're so aggravated
Yes, Lord.
with the sound
Yes.
to the point you're recognizing it and you're doing something about it.
Yes.
Look at somebody and say, neighbor, I'm about to counsel some people from Facebook.
I'm in the house.
I'm about to counsel some people like my cell phone.
Yes.
And I'm just not going to counsel them, I'm going to block them.
Yes.
I don't even want them to ring in my, y'all not talking to me. Why? Because I have to get so in tune with where God is taking me to the point that I cannot allow nothing else to make me miss God. I can't miss Him. I remember a couple of years ago where I am right now. I was in the same place 2 years ago. Distractions make me miss God. You got to be careful to the point that you not recognize the distraction and you fix the distraction in your own life. And sometimes it fits some distractions in your own life. You got to say, wait a minute, let me fall back a little bit. Let me fall back a little bit. Let me deal with me. Let me see my insecurities. Let me see what my failing points is. So I can get what God has for me. Why is that? Because God is ready to take you to a place that you really have not seen. And what took? Everything was done in 10%. Everything was done in 10%. 40 days, 40 years.
Glory to God.
Wasn't this saying from 40 years to 40 days?
Hallelujah.
What's after 40 days?
Yes.
Lord,
Jesus.
it's going to take you 4 days. God is going to move in your life in 4 days.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
What you could not get in 4 days. What's the day of what's the 4th day?
Hallelujah.
What is the 4th day, son? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday. The 12th. Oh, okay. I'm in the house. Okay.
Yes.
I just want to know. Number 4. Thursday.
Yeah.
4.
Yes.
And he said to Ezekiel, he said, Ezekiel, breathe into the four corners of the earth. North, south, east, and west. Four corners of the earth. Four seasons. In the midst of spring where everything is blooming. Breathe into it. Because on the fourth day, I'm going to recover all. And I'm going to make sure I'm doing it before them. Because 12 means divine order. He's orchestrating everything. What time is it right now? What time is it? I got to go home and go to sleep. 4:50. Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you positive?
Yes.
4:50. 4:50. Number 4. There's a wind again. There's a wind again. Number 5 means grace. 5 plus 4 is 9. Means manifestation. So how do I know I'm in a prophetic moment at this time? Because he just manifested with 2 winds that brought forth grace. In other words, I'm not in the place to be able to receive it, but because the grace covered me, he made sure that I'm able to take it. I'm not in a place in health-wise to be able to handle what he's about to do. But because he covered me with grace, you're going to help me this. Because he covered me with grace, I'm able to move into full manifestation. And because the trouble don't last always, and at midnight, Paul and I prayed, that midnight only means 1 minute. The next minute, now you living in double grace. That's why it had to happen. Y'all like helping me. Look at this, 10 minutes from 4:50 till 5 o'clock. 10 minutes from 4:50 to 5 o'clock. Then we go get 10%. 4 days. 4 days. Y'all like helping me here. I give the prophesy to somebody and to let your neighbor know that you're in the right place at the right time. God, give it. Number 10, it means breaking this organization. God's getting ready to recover every single thing. Everything that's been disorganized in your life. He's getting ready to make it whole. Make it whole. Receive that in Jesus. What my church saying? We're in the 4th, oh my God. We're in the 4th month. At the 8th day. Watch this now. You got to see this because what's 8 plus 4? 12. I came to let somebody know that you in your divine moment. You in your divine moment. For God to give you new beginning in divine order. Grab your neighbor hand and say, neighbor, I crossed over to something I did not know what God was doing.
Billionaire. That's me. Yes.
It's a billion.
Billion.
Auntie, what did it say? Girlfriend. It's a girlfriend.
How did you? Billions.
I'm calling you a fee. What did it say? It's a billion.
Yes, billions.
Is that billion?
Oh, yeah.
It said, Mommy said billion. What is it?
So
watch this. How can you wear something you can't have?
Right.
How can you put on? Yo, he's the smoothest guy I ever seen. Send it for me, God. Send it. Now, he wearing gold. Now, whenever I see him, this dude be cutting up for dress. His shoes be on fleek. I'm just I'm not even trying to call you out like that, but Doc. You're trying to make me come up in some areas. Don't forget you. If I know you come to church, I'm going to some real cool, but you didn't tell me so. I got this on that. He went gold. Why would God allow him to wear gold? Real gold. And not be able to make the gold and reproduce it. Y'all not talking back to me. And become gold. Well, Bishop, how can you become gold? Well, the Bible said with anything I touch.
Yes.
I shall have it.
Yes. Thank you, Lord.
And then the Bible also said in the book of Revelation, and they walked on gold.
Yes.
And watch this. If I'm if he's a king and I'm a royal priest of children generation, that means I should have it.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
I'm going to have it.
It's ours.
I got to get out of here, Saints. I'm sleeping.
It's ours.
Thank you.